cluster bombs, and Ukraine's NATO path. Ukraine's pursuit of NATO membership has encountered challenges, with the recent controversy surrounding the United States' decision to supply cluster bombs to the country. As Ukraine seeks closer ties with NATO, concerns have been raised by allies such as the UK, Canada, New Zealand, and Spain regarding the humanitarian risks associated with cluster munitions. What are cluster bombs? Cluster bombs, also known as cluster munitions, are weapons that disperse numerous bomblets over a wide area. How does cluster bombs work? Cluster bombs deploy multiple submunitions from a main container or dispenser. The submunitions disperse over a wide area, targeting personnel, vehicles, or infrastructure. Why are cluster bombs controversial? They are criticized for their indiscriminate nature and the dangers they pose to civilians. Cluster bombs can cause unintended harm to non-combatants due to the large number of bomblets they release. Why are they banned? The Convention on Cluster Munitions is an international treaty. Over 100 countries, including the UK, France, and Germany, have signed the treaty. The treaty aims to outlaw the use or stockpiling of cluster munitions. The reason for the prohibition is the indiscriminate effect of cluster munitions on civilian populations. What is the history of cluster bombs? Cluster bombs originated during World War II and were utilized by multiple countries. Advancements in technology have resulted in the development of more sophisticated cluster munitions over time. Who has them? According to the Cluster Munition Coalition, 16 countries currently produce cluster munitions. These countries have not made a commitment to cease future production of cluster munitions. 111 countries have signed and ratified the Convention on Cluster Munitions. Notably, Russia, the US, and Ukraine have not signed the convention. At the end of the US-Ukraine cluster deal, a question is still unresolved. Are concerns about civilian casualties caused by the use of cluster munitions being overlooked as the United States supports Ukraine's NATO aspirations?